Right, welcome back to the channel. I'm just going to do a quick video on if you're having charging issues, if you want to eliminate whether it's your rectifier regulator that's playing up or whether it's your stator. Well, the one way to rule out your, whether it is the regulator or not is to test the connections. Well, you can see this one here, the positive's gone quite black and burnt out. So sometimes you can have a problem with the connector. The actual regulator rectifier still works. It's just your connector's gone a bit rubbish there. Because that's kind of the plan with this one. I'm going to cut this connector off, and if my other regulator rectifier on the bike is broken, I'm going to use this one. But one of the things you want to invest in is a decent multimeter. I mean, you can pick this one up and it's a really good one. They sell these on Amazon for really cheap. We've got this for about £16. But you need to have this diode option on your meter. I mean, I got this fluke here, and this, you wouldn't be able to use this to do this test. I'll actually show you in a minute. I'll show you how it works with this one, and then it doesn't work with this one. But the first thing you want to do, you want to identify your cables. And I mean, this is specifically for the Gsxr 600 Srad. And if you can see the cables, you've got one with a red, they're all black, but you've got one with a red sort of bit in it, and you've got one with a white bit in it. So when it's facing towards you, this one's the live one, that's the neutral, and this is the 3 from your stator. On most bikes they're yellow, but these are the 3 state, AC inputs. That's your DC output, positive, negative. So I'll try and get the camera into a position, and I'll just quickly show you what to do. Okay, this will do. So the first thing you want to do, you want to set your tester to the diode, and then make sure it's selected onto the diode setting. And then what you want to do, so you've got your positive and negatives. You need to do 4 tests on this. So the first thing you want to do, get your positive onto your positive. Make sure you get a good connection. And then just go across the 3 top ones with your negative. So make sure it's touching the positive, touch the negative, 0, touch the negative, 0. Sorry, touch the... All you test between is the positive and negative on the DC with the 3. That were the inputs from like the AC. See, like you can see that I had it this way around, and again I didn't get any reading. But now if I change it round and I put the negative on this one, it's probably better if I had crocodile clips. That's strange. I wasn't getting any reading off that at all then. See, because this connector's so corroded, that's why I'm coming in from the bottom now. Because that's why I'm going to chop it off for, because I think that connector is completely ruined. There we go. So if you've got the negative of this cable on the positive DC output, so I get a reading 0.58. So I go to the next one along, 0.58. Next one along, 0.58. So that's telling me that, like, how the diode works, it sends a low voltage through the one cable, and then the other cable picks up how much is coming back. So what the diode's doing, if it's working correctly, it will let it through. If it's blocking it, because diodes only work one way, it either lets it through or it passes it through the other way. So you'll see now, if I put it into the next one, if I put it into the negative out, and then see nothing, nothing, nothing. But if I put the positive on here, so what that must be doing now, the diodes on the negative cable are letting it pass through to the AC cables. It's probably easy to touch this one from the top. So I get 0.55, 0.46, 546, 0.554, 0.552. It's quite complicated to explain how it works, like especially this time now because it's quite late. But that's just to show you how to test if your regulator rectifier is actually working. If I show you now, if I use my fluke, so if I put this onto the same setting, which is the same as what that was on, which is like your well, it's the cable that you use for when you're doing a continuity test, and it gives you like a resistance reading. But if I do that on here now, so if I touch that one, yeah, it doesn't matter which one you touch. I don't know if you can see that. Even if you touch like the positive to negative on the DC, you get nothing. So if you used one of these testers, you'd think it was completely dead. You'd think there was getting no connection whatsoever, which is not necessarily true, because then when you use the diode tester, you can see that you did get it. The way you'd know if it is faulty, so let's put it this way, on the positive DC output, you use the negative cable, so that you get the reading. You get a reading is pretty much the same on everyone. So to get a reading, you put your negative cable onto the positive, and then when you're on the negative side, you swap them round. So you put the positive onto the negative. So you get the reading, get the reading, get the reading. But if I had that the wrong way around, if I put the negative on the negative, if I put the negative on the negative and then put the positive on the AC inputs, so you get nothing, nothing, nothing. So if you pick up anything from this video, what you need to learn is when you do that diode test is you put the opposite one of these onto what your DC output is. So when you're testing, you put your negative onto your positive one, and you put your positive onto your negative one. And of course then you just put them on your AC inputs. So that's the positive. Push that in there. I don't know if you're picking the readings up. So yeah, there you get 0.589. That's only me because I'm dodging the cable a bit. 0.587. 0.586. But if you get a dead one, if you're doing that test that I've just showed you and one of these doesn't give you any reading, or it gives you a really low reading, then your regulators are knackered. I mean, if you put this in and it's still not charging your battery correctly, then it's a different issue. That's an issue with your stator then, but that's a completely separate video. I just thought I'd put this video on quickly just to show people just a quick, easy way to make sure your regulator's working. Anyway, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.